What an opening weekend for deer season for me. We're going to do a big recap. Lots to talk about. Welcome back to the show. RDS EP, I want to say 17. Great episode today. We're going to do, I went down to South Texas, D-Tex Whitetails this past weekend. Did a bunch of hunting. We didn't get that cold front that I was looking for yet. It looks like it got pushed back about a week and a half. We got some rain coming in this week, and then it's going to get that cold front coming in. Like the high's going to be like 70. One point it's going to be like 60s. But we had that 90-degree weather. I did not hunt the afternoon hunts, but I did get after it during the morning hunts. And what a showing it was. We got a buck down. First buck down of the season. It was a 10-pointer. And so we're just gonna let's break right into it right now. Morning hunt. Lots of bucks moving around. I was hunting the northern part of this property. Basically, I only saw one doe, but just lots of bucks moving in and out of the woods. They kind of had a lot of energy. Kind of some bucks already buffed up. You would think it would be the rut. The way these bucks were acting, obviously, is not the rut yet here in South Texas. But the way they were acting, just kind of pushing each other around. Some of these guys are big and bulky and puffed up. And man, just lots of bucks moving in and out. I was hunting a ground blind, turtle type, hard blind type, bow blind. And lots of good deer. Lots of big deer. I was impressed right off the bat. Big, heavy buck. I'll throw up there. Y'all can see him. He's either like a big 10 or 11. Heavy deer, dude. Heavy deer. I absolutely love that deer. And then I had a kind of a junk manager buck kind of walk in. This is the 10-point that I'm talking about. I actually did not decide to take him. I just kind of scouted him out that morning. And we'll break right into him. First, so he was one of those bucks kind of just circling around as well. But my brother and his friend, I told him about this buck. I said, bro, go to this location. You're going to be able to get him on the ground. Because he basically stayed there the whole time while I was there. And they went there. So they went there that afternoon, and it was dead zone, guys. They was a completely dead zone. I probably saw 12 bucks. They were there, absolute dead zone. 7 o'clock hit, getting close to sunset, and he walks out. The buck walks out. The 10-pointer walks out, and the shot's all on video. And gosh, guys, he smoked it at about, I think he said 18 yards. Buck ran about 30, 35 yards. And we got the first buck down here at D-Tex Whitetails. A great manager buck. Just basically crab claw 10, small basket, short 10. Great manager buck to take off the property. And we're on the board. I'm happy I was able to scout that buck for my brother and his friend. I didn't want to take him, kind of saving my tags. You only get, what is it? It's either 2 or 3 buck tags here in Texas, and then you get 2 doe tags. So I'm saving my tags. I got a long season ahead of me. But I was happy I was able to scout that buck out for him. So that was awesome. And then that was the only, wasn't it? That was the only day I hunted because I didn't hunt Sunday morning because, guys, I was up coyote hunting all night. That's a whole nother story we can get to here shortly. But during that day, we got a bow blind built and we went all out in this one. The bow blind it's a 6x5, completely made out of 6x2s, 2x6s. Completely made out of 2x6s. And it's a badass bow blind. It's going to be a brush blind. It's sitting about, I would say it's sitting about 6 feet tall and about 30, 35 yards from like this big open area. And it's sitting probably about 30, 35 yards from this big open area where these deer hopefully are concentrating in there. And guys, it took like 2 hours to make. We kind of messed up. We should have built it. So basically, the legs are made out of like big round wood bases, right, that are 6 feet tall. And then it's basically like a big pallet, right, like a wood pallet, right? But it's big. It's big and it's heavy. And we should have built it up on there. We didn't. So we had to get a bunch of guys to try to get it on top of there and move it over, which that's what took the longest. But things sturdy and the view looked awesome. We then brushed it in. We literally took screws, right? And just screwed them in. Literally, we found cut a bunch of branches Put those branches up, screw it in right to the blind. So those branches are going to stay there unless they get, we get a big, windstorm. Those branches are going to be there. Put some branches up in front, put some branches up behind, keep your highlight, your highlight, away from the deer when they're kind of looking up your direction. I do have a photo. I'll throw that up. The blind looks a lot more sturdy than the photo actually shows. So there's that, but it looks cool. We put braces on it. It could actually use a couple more braces. And it's a 2-person bow blind. I want to get away from the ground blinds. I've been sitting on the ground blinds for years, right? And for a couple reasons. First of all, that deer, you're eye level with that deer. Your scent is eye level with that deer. And the hunting gets a lot harder being basically straight parallel with these deer. You get some height, right? Your scent could blow right over the top of them. When they're looking up, they're not going to be going like that. They're just going to be looking straight for the most part. So you're going to be fine. You get just a little elevation, even like 5 foot, 4 foot off the ground, you're going to have a lot better chances of staying stealth. So that was the route we went, as well as that morning hunt. Guys, I pulled up in that morning hunt in that ground blind. I was freaking out. There was like this big ass hole, right? I was, oh, there's got to be a snake in there. So I was kind of moving the blind under a little bit. Out came 3 rats, right? Out came 3 rats. I was like, all right, there's no snakes here, but there's rats. And I opened the blind, and there's just a big old rat pile with. I saw two little rats, come across. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to build these blinds. I want to be off the ground. I hate snakes. I hate rats. And being off the ground, you're gonna be able to eliminate both of those problems. So that's just the other reason. The other reason to get off the ground. Also, the other reason, number 3, I would say, is just be able to have some height. You can glass. You can see over tops of some. South Texas, we have this little, like, I would say 4 foot, 5 foot mesquite trees, mesquite brush, and if you're able to get just on the edge of, like on the top of them, you can actually glass, 75, 50 yards away, see deer coming in, whatnot. When you're on the ground, you just have like a little narrow spot within like 15 yards width-wise. Can't see much around you. It's a boring hunt. Can't really scout stuff coming in. And so those are basically the top 3 reasons to build your blinds, your ground blinds up in the air. 1 being the scent and just the visual look. 2 being snakes and rats. And 3 being able to glass deer coming in from a ways out. So we got that done. We're gonna build. So that's the second one. We did a prototype already, which was a 5x4. So this is the second we built. I have material for a third. And then I also have material for a tree stand that's basically going to be the same thing, but it's not going to have legs, right? It's going to be up in the tree, about 12 feet tall. So we got those. I'm also going to bring material for 1 more to build as well. We have like, I don't even know, 10 to 12 different hunting spots. So over time, we'll slowly build some ground blinds so that, we can have them everywhere. But in the meantime, also, those don't always have to be brush blinds. We're going to build some where we'll just throw like basically a pop-up blind on top, brush that around as well. Because sometimes you like the pop-up blind look, especially if it's cold. Pop-up blind helps with just keeping some warmth in the blind. So that's that. Coyote hunting. We had a great time coyote hunting. We saw 1 dog cross basically like 100 yards right in front of us. The sendero is probably 8 feet wide, and that dog just didn't stop. He went right past that sendero. Me and my brother both had thermals. We're spotting right on him, and he just came right across. Came up to a injured rabbit, and he was so close that he probably sent us once he got in that woods and just kind of ran off. But we did call in. There was a big pack, probably like 5 to 10 right behind us. And we kind of found their location and where they're kind of concentrating at. We didn't want to pressure them too much. So next time we go down, we got some great ideas for where to sit. So that's going to be fun. We're both running 223s, POFs. It's the real deal. It's so much fun. If you've never been nighttime coyote hunting, especially with thermals, it's a blast. So it was a busy weekend. We did a bunch of other stuff. Clear some senderos, basically just prepping the whole property and whatnot for this coming season because we got a long season ahead of us. We still got November, December and half of January. That is prime time. That is when, you know, the cooler weather comes in, and, you know, that's when the action happens. So it's kind of a recap from this weekend. I wouldn't say there's anything else that happened. I'm trying to think. Oh, I did get the new Toyota Tacoma down there. The thing's been riding awesome. I rode it basically the entire weekend, and it's a big upgrade from the old Jeep, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's got the long bed, so I was able to stack wood when I was building those blinds, be able to stack just like equipment back there. I absolutely love the Tacoma this past weekend, so that was a big plus, and we're getting rid of that Jeep. So that's about it for this show, this episode, RDS, the Reed DuPont Show. Appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to be heading down, not this weekend, but next weekend. We got a big cold front, like I said, in the 70s and 60s rolling in. So we're going to get back after it, and hopefully we can fling some arrows. So appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace!